Hey guys, it's Christy with Christy's Custom Creations. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this beautiful sunset tumbler using both alcohol inks and mica powders. We're going to start with a prepped and painted 20-ounce stainless steel tumbler. You can do this with any size tumbler that you want. I've done it on wine glasses, 30-ounce cups. The 20-ounce cup is really nice sized for it, and it's the size that this customer ordered. But started with a prepped cup, painted it white with matte Rust-Oleum white spray paint, and I'm going to put 20 milliliters of epoxy on it, smooth out the epoxy, and let it spin. Once I've got that on there, I'm going to hit it with my torch, pop any little micro bubbles, and just get the epoxy super smooth. Now that the epoxy is nice and smooth, it's time to get started with the alcohol inks. We're going to start with Passion Purple Pinata alcohol ink on the top, and I'm just going to put some random drops of alcohol ink all around the top portion of the cup. After that, I'm going to use Senorita Magenta. It's a pink color, and it's also by Pinata. It's a very, very pretty, vibrant pink. And I dot it around the cup, kind of mixing it in with the purple and then a little bit below the purple as well. The next color is going to be also by Pinata, and it's Calabaza, I guess is how you say it, Calabaza Orange. And I'm going to drop it just below the pink. Even mix it in just a little bit with the pink, not too much. Let it spin. And then I'm going to use it's by Ranger's alcohol ink, and it's called Honeycomb. I just dropped the honeycomb a little bit below the orange and also mix it in with the orange. Then I'm going to take this beautiful alcohol pearl ink. It's also a Ranger ink, which I want to note that Ranger is by Tim Holtz. But this one's called Alchemy, and it's a super shimmery pearl yellow that's just gorgeous. Mix it in with the orange and yellow. After that, I'm going to take another Ranger Tim Holtz alcohol ink, and it's called Pitch Black. I'm just going to drop it around the bottom of the cup, and then also get it down on the very bottom of the cup so that the bottom of the cup is solid black. Now that I've got my alcohol inks on the cup, it's time to fill in some of the gaps. So I'm going to just take more of my purple, pink, orange, yellow, all those colors, and fill in the gaps. I'm going to take them and just kind of mix them into each other a little bit so that they kind of flow into each other as the alcohol ink starts to run. I'm even going to bring the alcohol ink down just a little bit more towards the black so that it can all start to run together. Now that I've got pretty good coverage with alcohol ink all over the cup, I'm going to take my heat gun and I'm going to heat up the epoxy and alcohol ink. With the heat, it will cause the alcohol ink to swirl together, making some really neat designs on the cup. You may also have some of your epoxy and alcohol ink drip off the bottom of the cup as it swirls together. Don't worry about it, it's just part of it. And if you still have any little gaps that haven't swirled in, don't worry, just add a little bit more alcohol ink to it and it will swirl right into the epoxy and alcohol ink mixture. Once I've got good coverage and everything seems to be kind of just mixing in and swirling really good, I'm going to stop with the heat gun and just let it swirl and do its thing, because as it dries, it will continue to swirl. So this is after it's completely dry. I'm going to put another coat of epoxy on it because it is time to start putting the mica powders on it. I'm using another 20 milliliters of epoxy, and I'm just going to fully cover the cup with the epoxy. Now that I've got the epoxy on and smoothed out, I'm going to hit it with the heat gun again, just to pop any little micro bubbles. Now that my epoxy is smooth, I'm going to take these small little medicine cups, lay them out, and put about 10 mLs of epoxy in each one. This is what we are going to be mixing our mica powders up into. Okay, so I'm going to be using 3 different colors. This first one is called Red Gold, and I got it from Mr. Nola's. They're an awesome glitter company based out of New Orleans, and they literally have every product you can think of that you may need. The next one's called Deep Pink, and I'm just going to put that one into my second little medicine cup. My third color is called Purple, and going to put that one into my third medicine cup. Basically, I only take just a little small amount on the end of my popsicle stick, and then I mix them thoroughly into the epoxy. It's kind of a thick mixture, but I want it thick because I want to smooth it around the cup. You'll see in just a minute, I'm actually going to smooth it around the cup with my hand after I get it on the cup. So I like it to be a little bit thicker of a mixture so that it grabs the cup a little bit better. Make sure and mix the mica powders really good into the epoxy so that you don't have any dry spots. Once it's mixed in, I'm going to take my popsicle stick for the purple, and I'm just going to swirl it, or kind of lay it across the top part of the cup. I'm just gonna let it drizzle off of my popsicle stick, and it doesn't have to be put on there in any particular way. Just kind of drizzle it on, and just you can just be messy with it. It really doesn't matter. After that, I'm going to take the pink and drizzle that onto my pink-ish part of the cup. Kind of just drizzling it off the popsicle stick and right out of the medicine cup. You can just glob it around it. Like I said, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. Alright, then I'm going to take my gold, drizzle that. It's kind of just falling out kind of clumpy, but like I said, that's okay, and I like it to be kind of a thick mixture, because you'll see in just a minute how I kind of just wipe it over the cup. Alright, now I'm going to take a gloved hand, and I like to grab another small cup to kind of wipe the epoxy and mica powder off into. And I keep my hand in the same position on the cup as I wipe it over the cup. I don't want to mix the colors too much. After I have a lot on my glove, I wipe it off into the medicine cup. So just take that gloved hand, wipe it over the cup, and basically it's just smearing it. Yeah, I mean, you could look at it as a little bit of a waste. This is how I do it. It's the way that I've found works for me. I kind of found it by accident because I didn't like how it looked on the cup. On a cup that I had done at one point, and I was like, let me just wipe all this mess off. So I started wiping it off the cup, and it looked absolutely beautiful. So I roll with it now. This is the way I do my sunset cups. I'm gonna take my heat gun, heat it all up, and let the remaining epoxy just swirl together with the mica powders, and it's going to create a really beautiful design, just like the alcohol ink did. And the alcohol ink, as you can see, shines through the mica powders, and it just creates a really pretty mixture. So hit it with some heat and let it swirl. All right, so once I hit it with some heat and let it all swirl together, I decided I wanted to remove a little bit more of the mica powder because I wanted the alcohol ink to show through just a little bit more than it was. So just doing a few more swipes of my hand with the glove on the cup to let the alcohol ink shine through, and hit it with the heat gun again, and then I'm just gonna let it sit. I'm gonna let it sit till it's dry, and we will see the beautiful creation here in just a second. Okay, I let this cup spin overnight, so now it's completely dry and it's time to put some water slides on it. I just soak my water slides in some water. I like to use just slightly warmer than room temperature water and wet the cup. I wet the cup with just a little bit of water from the bowl where I have my water slide soaking. Let it soak for about 30 seconds or so. I like to get impatient and I have to test it out every now and then, but it's now ready. It's now ready to slide right off of the water slide and slide it right onto the cup. Look how beautiful. That sunset behind it just makes the image, the chairs, the palm tree and everything, it just makes it pop. So I'm gonna go ahead and let the name soak. It can be soaking while I'm drying or trying to get all the water out from underneath this water slide. I like to use just a soft cotton washcloth. Initially I like to press on it and then I take it from there and I just wipe it. You don't want to wipe too terribly hard because you don't want to tear your water slide, but just wipe it, push out any excess water underneath it, and then you're good to go. That's just gorgeous. All right, I'm gonna flip it over. Time for the name. The name should be ready to release and slide off. Yep, it sure is. So let's go ahead, put it on the cup, slide it into position where I want it. I think that looks about right. And I'm going to take my cotton washcloth, press on it real quick, and then I'm just going to wipe out any excess water underneath it. Okay, so it is time for the Sunset Cup's final spin on my spinner, and I completely had a brain fart and did not think to record this part, but where there was a little bit of alcohol ink mixed into the black, I took a little bit of black on a makeup sponge and actually dabbed, I took a little bit of black alcohol ink on a makeup sponge and dabbed around the bottom of the cup just to cover up any areas where some of the pearl, the alchemy that's a little bit shiny, it had gotten down into the black and it made the black a little shiny. So I just took a little bit of black alcohol ink on a makeup sponge, sponged over it, and it made the bottom part solid black, and it you can't see any alcohol ink at all in it. Like I said, I completely forgot to record that part, but I wanted to be sure to mention it. Once that was dry, it's time for the last coat of epoxy. I used 20 milliliters of epoxy for this last coat, and I smeared it on real good, hit it with my my blowtorch, and let it spin. And I want to mention, you don't have to use the exact same colors that I used. It's just the colors that I prefer to make my sunset cups with. Use whatever colors you like and make it yours. Here is the final product, the finished product after it's got its last coat of epoxy on it. Look how beautiful. So if you like this video, be sure to subscribe and hit the like button to see more videos just like it. Y'all take care. Have a great day.